Welcome to Checks and Balances. I'm Michael Vincent. This is James Blair, and today we answer the age-old question: does money buy you happiness?
So, Michael, let's get straight to the point.
Yep.
Does money buy you happiness?
Yes. And that's good night, Irene. We'll catch you next week on Checks and Balances.
Peace. Now, seriously, what do we think?
Yeah, I think to a point, money does make you happier, but there is definitely a ceiling to that, and probably a point where you start getting those diminishing marginal returns from the additional income.
Yeah, I mean, we know a lot of rich dudes in particular, who have money but are miserable, right?
I know a lot of people who have money but are miserable.
Yeah. I would tend to agree the same, that money doesn't buy you happiness, but it's hard to be happy if you've got money problems. Is that a good way of putting it?
Yeah, absolutely, man. But I'll tell you what, when those tears hit that leather Bugatti seat,
yeah,
I'm still feeling all right.
What is it? Never thought I'd do this. Quoting Wolf of Wall Street, been a rich man and I've been a poor man. And when I have my problems, I choose rich every freaking time.
Yeah.
And so, opposed to just our opinion on this, firstly, more than 25 years in finance talking to people about money, I can guarantee you that it's just very hard that if you're stressed about money, and that's why like the emergency fund and setting goals and having a financial plan, removing that anxiety are all important things. But if you do not have money, it's just really hard. And there's a study that's been done which focuses on people being asked how happy they are and measuring their income. And essentially, people get happier and happier as their income goes up to about $120,000.
Yeah.
And then at $120,000 pretty much tapers out, and you're not getting any happier based on the more income that you have. When you think about, a lot of people go, if I just earn that extra $20,000, or if I just earn that extra $50,000 over those bigger numbers, then I would be happy.
Yeah. Look, the research was probably done by someone a lot smarter than me. So I'm not going to argue with it.
Low bar.
But I would say that 120 might be a bit, maybe that was before a cabbage was about $10.
Yeah, I can't buy as many cabbages these days.
Yep.
And the reason why money is important is it does help you, funnily enough, buy stuff.
Yeah.
And without these list of things that we're going to talk about, it's very hard. The first one, Mike, security. It might be in terms of your home. It might be in terms of like the area you live in. That money allows you to make sure that you're comfortable with your settings, right?
Yeah, absolutely, right. And as we go down this list of what money buys you, this is just Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? You're starting with the basics and ending up at charity, like luxuries and charities and things that aren't really required for living. But security, your health, making sure that you are healthy, that health is like insured and stable, all fundamental things that unless you have that is a base layer of stress.
Yeah, when I think about the health piece as well, if you can't afford health insurance, you don't have income protection, and you were to be impacted by those things, you can't pay to go see a doctor, can't pay to go get the medication that you need. The non-pharmac drugs, the 1,000 give a little pages in the country at the moment. It's pretty sad stuff.
Yep.
When it comes to emergencies as well, having some cash set aside for emergencies is...
we talk about this all the time. That's just an emergency fund, You've got 3 to 6 months of expenses sitting there, and like if I know my house is paid for, my health insurance is good to go, and I've got an emergency fund, everything beyond that is basically just a luxury, right?
Yep. And then, you're right. You're breaking it down
apart
after
from
that.
food.
Yeah. You've got investments, conveniences, luxuries, charities, being able to do some things that are really important to you. Now, if you're still not convinced with our graph that tapers away at $120,000, here's another stat for you. Around mental health, 31% of poor people have said they've been diagnosed with depression at some point in life, compared to 15.8% for those not in poverty. I mean, that's a stat right there, isn't it?
Yeah, and I don't have the stats for this comment, but I would argue that a lot of the disagreements and relationship breakdowns in couples is due to money.
Yeah, I mean, it was in the last episode. It was about 30%.
There you go.
It was the leading cause of divorce, I believe, which is not surprising. Actually, I think it was after your traditional, because we talked about financial infidelity. I think it's after your traditional infidelity, actually, which is not surprising. Ravi's giving me a thumbs up. So, the reason why money is so important, why money does buy happiness, is it does give you the time to work on what you want to work in. Money gives you the chance to buy more skills, give you more experiences, all really important parts.
Yep, absolutely right. And hey, that trip to Fiji with the family is a memory that you want to cherish.
I want to see little Cooper in the pool, splashing around, drinking a margarita.
Hey, I'll be there.
Yeah. So, like I said, there is diminishing returns when it comes to money. But if you're thinking about getting, your money on track, do not just go, it doesn't matter. Money doesn't matter. Security doesn't matter. Of course it matters. Having that security, making sure that you've got those good foundations, you're able to do some things that you enjoy, will help you get ahead. Mike, what's an action off this one?
Well, buy a lotto ticket and take it to the extreme, and then you'll find out how unhappy you can be with money.
All right. I think this is probably a good way to like tie it back into values. So making sure that, that we are being honest with ourselves and that money is important to live the life that we want to live, opposed to kidding ourselves.
Yeah.
We will wrap it up there. Thank you for joining us. Please make sure to subscribe, and we will catch you tomorrow for Should You Be Scared of Debt?
Cheers.